Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenithan, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today, what are we going to be doing? Well, we got new cards today. So we're going to be going through some new cards, of course, reacting to them, talking about the potential they have for the game, and just giving our opinion overall on them. And potentially talking about potential decks they can go in. Not sure how long this video is going to be. We only have 4 cards, I believe. 3 cards and a champion, which is Bard. Granted, Bard is a Runeterran champ, and there's an origin to talk about as well, and what being a Runeterran champ means for Bard and his deck building cost. So, you know, it might not be that short of a video. I always say, whenever I feel like whenever I say it's going to be a short video, it turns into a long, like 20-minute video or something. But I don't think it'll be too long this time. Unless I keep rambling like I'm rambling now. So, let's go and look at the new cards, because there's some stuff to unpack here. So, we have Bard and some cards. So, first off, we already know what chimes and boons do. If you don't know what they do, you can go and check out my video from yesterday, I believe. That should be talking about chimes and boons, but really quick, boons are basically reverse traps. They'll go on cards in your deck, and when you draw that card, the boon will activate, and the only boon we have right now is a chime, which grants a random ally in your hand +1/+1. So, what does Bard do? First off, Bard is a Runeterran champ, and that means he comes with an origin. What is Bard's origin? Well, you may put any cards that plant chimes into your deck during deck building. Okay, pretty interesting. At the moment, I believe there's only chimes in Bandle City and Targon, but this might mean in the future we might get some chimes in other regions, but who knows. That'd be kind of cool, though, where, like, every now and again we'll get a chime in, like, Piltover and Zon, or Noxus, or whatever. But for now, kind of a bit of a disappointment, because right now there's really just chimes in Bandle City and Targon. Now, the ability, though, that you get for completing or following this deck building constraint is that at the start of the round, plant a chime in your deck for each Bard that started the game in your deck. So, assuming, you know, you put in 3 champions like most people do with their champions, that means at the start of every round, you're putting 3 chimes in your deck. Now, here's the problem. Yes, that's a lot of value, but they are going into your deck randomly. It's not like top 20, top 10, etc., etc. It'd be a little strong if it was like top 10, but the fact that it's a very heavy RNG thing, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's just there's a lot of RNG with chimes, and, well, specifically this. Makes me think that Bard won't be that powerful of a card. I think he's very strong. I just don't think he's going to be a tier 1 card overall because of the lack of consistency, for lack of a better way of saying it. But this is really strong. +3/+3 stats every single turn is really good. Sure, it's slow. There's RNG. You never know when you're going to find the charms, or the chimes, sorry. So that does keep it from being too broken, in my opinion. So what does Bard themselves actually do? Well, Bard is a 4-mana 2/5. Beautiful art, by the way. You got a cute little chip over here in a portal. I have no idea who this is, by the way. I don't think this is a card that's actually in the game. I could be wrong, but if you asked me to actually make a guess on who this is, I'd say it looks like a little like Varus, but maybe not. I hope it is Varus, and that's like a clue and a hint that Varus might be coming up in a future set soon, but who knows. Anyway, what does Bard actually do? So like I said, he is a 4-mana 2/5. We already know his origin. Attack. Plant 3 chimes on random cards in your deck. So basically you get another origin round start thing whenever Bard attacks. Okay, 2/5 for 4 is not the greatest stat line, but it's not terrible. 7 stats for 4 mana is not really great, in all honesty, too. That's like the stat line of a 3-drop. 7 stats for 3 mana, like 4 3s, 3 4s, etc., etc. But it's fine. We're not playing Bard for the stats. Solid defensive stats, too. Solid high health pool means he'll probably get a couple of attacks in before he dies. You're probably pairing him with Targon too, so you have some healing and protection spells in the form of Guiding Touch, Bastion, Pale Cascade, etc., etc. So that's nice. And to level up Bard, what do you gotta do? Increase the total stats of allies in play or hand by 20 plus. That's not a hard level up, I feel. Because if you care about leveling up Bard, and you probably should because his leveled up form is pretty strong, you're gonna probably play things like Esmus and Bird, which put chimes right on the top of your deck. So that's already some chimes increasing some stats. And it doesn't say the chimes have to be the way to increase the total stats. Just stat buffs can do it. Now, here's the thing that I have. Does this include temporary buffs? I don't. The way I'm reading Bard's level up, I'm not seeing a reason why it wouldn't. Like, would Pale Cascade count? Also, a +1/+1 buff. Does that count as like 2? Like 1 chime, is that like 2 ticks towards Bard level up? Or I don't think it would be 1. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain on that. Maybe they showed it in the trailer and I just can't remember. But yeah, like I think it's a fairly easy level up too, thanks to things like Pale Cascade, Sharp Sights if they count, Troll Chants, Chimes themselves, and Dargana has other ways to give stats to, just buffs in general. I really feel like a +1/+1 buff has to give +2 to a Bard level up. Because I assume like a +1/+0 buff only would give +1 to a Bard level up. So yeah, I'm going to just assume that until I get confirmation it doesn't or it does. Because that would be weird, because like how would Young Witch work? Would Young Witch, which gives +1/+0, just not buff Bard towards his level up? Whatever. So what does Bard do when he levels up? Well, let's take a quick look. Nice art, by the way. Little doot action there. But first off, it's +1/+1 like most champions do when they get a level up going. Becomes a 3/6. So 4-mana 3/6. So what do you do now, Bard? Still has the attack to plant chimes in the deck, but now instead of planting 3 chimes, Bard is gonna plant 6 chimes. So doubles of the chimes. That's nice. And when you activate a chime, grant +1/+1 to a random ally in play. So I'm pretty sure that means it can also hit Bard with the way this is worded. So if you hit a chime and Bard's the only unit you have on the field, it'll buff Bard, which is pretty good. Again, like I said earlier when we were talking about the origin though, and chimes in general, this is very heavy in the RNG. And I feel like the best way to play Bard is just to have a lot of small, or not even small, but just things that everything in your deck would like a +1/+1 buff. And you might say, well, streamer, in most decks, every unit wants a +1/+1 buff. Yes, you're right, but some decks and some units care more about a +1/+1 buff than others. Let's give some examples. Fangs loves a +1/+1 buff. Elusives in general love a +1/+1 buff. What are things that don't really care too much about a +1/+1 buff? Big late game oriented things. Yeah, so Malphite doesn't really care. Captain Farron likes them, but he doesn't care too much, in all honesty. Like, sure, +1/+1 on Farron's nice because extra damage with Overwhelm, but it's not the greatest. But yeah, like Challengers, Elusives, Lifesteal love these +1/+1 buffs. I guess you could also mention like tough units too. But yeah, I think like smaller, I don't want to say aggro, but just annoying tempo-y, mid-rangey stuff. So again, like Elusives is, in other words, what I'm going towards. Support as well. So like a Lulu Bard or Bard Zoe, Bard Tarek seems like a solid way too. Kind of gonna hurt though the deck if you're, I don't know. I also worry about like, what does that mean? You're like Runeterra champ plus Targon Runeterra champ plus Vandal City. You might just not have enough cards for a deck too, is the other problem. You might be struggling to find playables for the deck. I don't know. Time will tell. Plus we still have other cards to be seen, and maybe we'll get another couple of cards to help out Bard. Even though I'm pretty sure most of the cards we're going to see between now and the set release are going to be for Annie. Anyway, just a couple more cards to go. First off, we have Bard's Champ spell, Traveler's Call. So what does it do? 3 mana burst spell. I do like burst spells. Draw a follower. Okay, not bad. Then activate the effect of all boons in the top 3 of your deck. Interesting. I assume it's going to be like a Karina style effect where the 6 mana Karina, where you play Karina, she activates the traps, but the traps don't get used up. I assume you play Traveler's Call, you activate the boons, and while you get the effect, you don't use up the boon. So that's pretty nice. There is a potential to whiff with it, of course. Like, you just have no boons in the top of your deck, but at least you're drawing a card. You're drawing a follower. 3 mana, draw a follower. That is a terrible card. I will say that. If you whiff on this card, that is a very bad card, but would I play this main deck? Maybe. I might play it like as a one-up. Back to actually what I was talking about with the Bard and the Runeterra champion, whatever, in deck building. I feel like this is an okay card to slot into your deck if you're running low on playables and you're just like, okay, I really need another card or two just to fill out the deck. Traveler's Call is a solid filler card in my opinion. It's a 3 mana card that cycles and sometimes gives you some upside too. So I'm fine with it. It's not crazy bad or crazy good. It's very middle ground. Very powerful chance spell too. I will say that. Like, not the fact that I'm actually considering putting it in a deck should show that it's a solid champ spell too. These are kind of champ spells I like. Champ spells that are strong spells that have solid times to play them, but cards that you probably wouldn't put in your deck. Better than whatever Zillion's doing with his champ spell. But what do we have next? A couple more cards. Just 2 more. Maduli the Gatekeeper. I love this art, by the way. It's very, I don't want to say cosmic horror, but it's very otherworldly, I guess, is probably the proper way to put it. But yeah, Maduli the Gatekeeper. 6 mana, 4/6. Feels like the Karina for boons at the moment. Mostly because it's also 6 mana. That's why I'm making that connection. But when I'm summoned, plant the chime on the top card of your deck. Then double the boons in your deck. So, I like it. It's so slow, though. Like, this is really, really slow. Now, you might say, like, oh, so it's like a Teemo Nexus Strike when Teemo's leveled up. Kind of. But boons work toward, or boons, puff caps work towards killing your opponent. Boons, not so much, and they don't really help keep you alive. And while Maduli has an okay stat line for a 6-drop, no lack of a keyword kind of makes me a little hesitant to play Maduli. Maduli feels like you want to play this in a more control-y type of chime deck, and I don't think that is how you should play chimes and Bard, but maybe you'll have to play it because you just need more chime creators in your deck. Maybe not, I don't know. And our last card, though, Cosmic Binding. Not much to talk about it. Nice art, by the way. But Cosmic Binding, 5 mana, Bandle City, fast speed spell. 5 mana, deal 2 to an enemy, and stun another. Plant 3 chimes on random cards in your deck. So again, with the whole random cards, not making sure it hits like the top 20, top 10, whatever. Kind of hesitant to like this. I kind of like the card though. I don't know what deck wants this is the issue. Would I play this in a Bard deck is the question. Maybe? Like, I see Bandle City, I see Bard. I'm already kind of thinking like Shellfolk? Because I like Bandle City Well, I like Shellfolk. I don't really like Bandle City, I just like Shellfolk. So yeah, that's the thing I think about the most when I see Shellfolk. Shellfolk would love a buff, like I will say that. Shellfolk does really enjoy buffs ever since she got nerfed. It got nerfed, they got nerfed, whatever. But would I play this card? Maybe. I have played Event Horizon in decks before, like actual Event Horizon. If you don't remember what that card is because, you know, it's not really a commonly played card, can't blame you. Event Horizon is Vagar's Champ spell, the 5-mana fast speed spell that says stun an enemy and then stun all enemies with 2 or less power. And I played it in some more control-y decks. I think I actually played it in Shellfolk, in fact. It was okay as a 1, even a 2 of. Would I replace any deck that I would consider playing Event Horizon? Would I replace it with Cosmic Binding? I'm not sure. Because the way I'm looking at Cosmic Binding is stun one big unit, kill one small unit. Event Horizon is stun one big unit, stun all small units. In other words, how much do the chimes matter? How much value do I care about 3 chimes? And honestly, not that much, but maybe. So yeah, I'm a little hesitant with this, and 5 mana is a lot of mana. But the way I'm looking at it, okay, 2 damage is usually worth 2 mana, right? Mystic Shot, basically. Sure, Mystic Shot goes face, but you're paying an extra 3 mana to stun any unit you want and add 3 chimes to your deck. That's almost worth an extra 3 mana, and it's all on 1 card. I wouldn't play this as a 3-of, though. I will say that right away. I am not playing Cosmic Binding as a 3-of in my deck, but I'm already looking at it as a 1 to 2-of in certain control decks, so I like it. I'm a fan of the card. I like all of these cards. I've seen a lot of people being disappointed about Bard. Not specifically Bard himself, but the fact that Bard is a Runeterra champion. Mostly because there aren't that many chime cards or chime generators, so there's not really a point to him being a Runeterra champ at the moment. Because people are like, well, most of the chime cards are pretty much just Bandle City and Targon cards. Why can't Bard just be a Targon card and let it be that? So then you can get all the Targon cards you want and all the Bandle City cards you want. Because right now it's like, you're just going to be like a Targon deck and then a Runeterra Targon deck, and you're just going to be like, you'll get access to all the Targon cards you want, and then you only have chimes. You won't be able to add any Bandle City card. Like, you won't be able to add a Stress Defense. But while Bard was a Targon champ, you could do like Targon Bandle City and add in Stress Defense and Pale Cascade and whatever. So that's why some people are a little upset about Bard. I'm not as upset as some people are. Mostly because I'm hopeful that in the future we'll get some more chime cards in other regions besides Bandle City and Targon. But who knows, maybe it'll be like Predict and it will just stay in Bandle City. Chimes will stay in Bandle City and Targon forever. Just like how Predict is pretty much just a PNZ Shurima thing. I hope not. I hope like we get a couple of chime cards in every region. Plus it will be kind of thematic with Bard, how he wanders around and travels all over the place. But yeah, overall, I like Bard. I don't think he's a tier 1 champ. I don't think he's going to create a tier 1 deck. If he does create a tier 1 deck, though, it's going to be a very annoying deck, though, I will say that, because it'll probably be something like elusives or maybe support like a Lulu deck or a Tarek deck, and those can be very annoying too. So yeah, I like the cards. Chimes are cool. So yeah, I'd love to hear your idea about Bard. What did you guys think about him? Decks you would consider putting him in, champs you would pair with him. Right now, I have a lot of ideas. Like I said already, Lulu, Tarek are a couple I'm thinking of. Aphelios, Shellfolk. I know it's not a champion, but Shellfolk in general, of course, is also something I'm considering. So yeah, I'd love to hear your ideas. So we have a few more days left of reveals. I believe we're probably gonna get a variety day coming up soon, probably tomorrow, and then so it's probably gonna go like variety, and then Annie support and followers, and then Annie herself, and then the set comes out, or maybe we get another day of variety and then the set comes out. Who knows? But that's probably how it's gonna go. Until then, of course, we'll talk about all the cards as they come out. I'll be sure to upload some videos. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video though for Bard, and I'd love to hear your opinion on him down in the comments below. And if you guys just enjoy the video in general, I'd love it if you could leave a like or a comment down below as well, because it really helps me and the channel out. Also, if you want to... Yeah, I'm getting all tongue-tied here. Also, if you want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel as well. And if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Senaton, where I stream pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all again once more for watching this video. And until I see you guys in the next one, bye!